You are listening to Pep Talk with Tisha Hammond. Thank you for tuning in to hear as she brings cheer to your ear.
Hey y'all, hey newsmakers, welcome back to Pep Talk Live with Tisha Hammond. I am your host, Tisha Hammond, the small business cheerleader. You are the Global Pep Squad. You are a world full of newsmakers and headliners, and if you didn't know, you heard it here, that half the world's workforce call themselves boss. I know that's you. And I want to welcome you back to season 3 of Pep Talk Live with Tisha Hammond. You have made this possible. Thank you for tuning in, sharing your great words of wisdom, your encouragement. You know, when we have guests on the show, it's always our intention to bring you industry leaders, thought leaders, experts, individuals who have a brand story to share. It's going to be a blessing to you around the globe. So we want to know where you're tuning in from. Please tell us that. And be sure to speak your mind in the comments, especially if you have questions for our guest star. And we do have a great guest star today. You know what else we have today? We have a day where the world just goes on pause for a second and recognizes the greatness of womanhood, recognizes our contributions to this world, to the workforce, to the fill in the blank. So we have here from Baby Jesus. That's Baby Jesus was born in America on other platforms. And he says, can't wait. Happy International Women's Day. Let the countdown begin. And certainly we are here. Thank you for your comment. We'd love to hear more from you. Global Pep Squad, how you doing? How's life? How's work? How's business? Are you growing? Because that's the intent of this show, is to elevate the conversation around entrepreneurship. Make sure that you have a community where you are enveloped in and surrounded by resources, great information, and good news. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? This is where you get the scoop on entrepreneurship. So be sure to like, subscribe, follow, share. Today's guest star is not someone that you want to keep secret, right? So you're going to see her name coming across the bottom banner. This is not someone you want to keep a secret. You want to share all this good information, and we want your questions. So, before I can bring up the guest star onto the platform, I must say some thank yous first. We're at season 3 of this broadcast, and from day one, not one day, from day one, we've had a strategic partnership with Dell Technologies and Intel Corporation. And actually, I got to say thank you. I don't know if I can say thank you enough. So if you have a technology inconvenience, a technology issue, a technology problem, they have the solution. So please visit Dell.com. Also want to thank our media partner, which is Career Master Magazine. We have our 8th annual Career Master Summit and Awards event coming up March 22nd through 23rd. We'll be in Uptown Charlotte. Yeah, I'm getting out and traveling. I got my suitcase ready, almost. I got my outfits ready though. You'll find plenty of fabulous speakers lighting up the stage in person and on our hybrid platform. So careermastered.com or careermastersummitandawards.com. Please get your ticket and join us either in person or virtually if you can. Also want to say thank you to Dark Matter Cosmetics LLC. When I take a little bit of time to do any type of makeup, I'm wearing Dark Matter Cosmetics, Black-owned, woman-owned products, and I'm so thankful for their partnership as well. I could go on and on. You'll see me flashing thank yous throughout the show, but you didn't come to hear me talk about my thank yous. You came to hear from today's guest star. And certainly, we have a great guest star. I want you to stay to the end because we're doing another micro lesson on how to bring efficiency into your workday. This is super helpful for freelancers, entrepreneurs, individuals who have content that you want to keep, that you want to store, that you want to move around from place to place and even share in like a collaborative workspace. Stay for the end of today's Pep Talk Live to get that micro lesson. It's sponsored by Digital Samurai Studios. So when you see that kind of image that I have up there in the right-hand corner, you know that I'm working with digital technology masters. Okay. And I want you to get the benefit of all of that. Joining us right now, though, on center stage is today's guest star. She is Pamala McCoy. Get this. CEO, founder, creator, all of the above at Bonafide and B5. And she is joining us here in the stream. Welcome, Pamala McCoy, to the
Hello,
show, y'all.
hello. Welcome. Thank you. And good afternoon, good morning to your global pep squad, wherever they are.
Yay! Yay, we're so happy to have you here. This show has been a long time in the making. You have been very patient to join us here on Pep Talk Live. And we thank you for keeping us on your calendar because we know that you have a great brand story to share and a brand message that people really need to hear. I believe it'll be a blessing. I know that it's something that our viewers and listeners need to know. And like we said earlier, don't want to keep you a secret. So that said, will you please take 2 minutes to introduce yourself to the Global Pep Squad by telling us who you are, what you love, and what you love doing for entrepreneurs and creators?
All righty. Well, again, thank you for the opportunity, the platform to be before your global pep squad. Amazing. And as Tisha and I were talking earlier, she's already like season 3, over 200 episodes. That I have to speak to somebody, right? About perseverance, about impact. And so I am Pamala McCoy, AKA Pamala with 3 A's. And I'm hailing from Tampa, Florida. I have 2 businesses. One, Bonafide Credit Consultants, LLC, where we provide financial capability education and personal money management. And then my latest division, which is B5 Reaffirm, which you'll see in my header here. B5 Reaffirm focuses solely on the self-esteem of females. And it has been an amazing journey. I refer to the B5 Reaffirm side of my business as my assignment from the big guy. And I don't even know if we have enough time today to talk about all that has been and meant. But when I can't explain something, what I say is hashtag GISCC. And that stands for God is so crazy cool. And when I tell you he has showed up and shown out as relates to my businesses, and you ask, what is my goal? If you ask me in a word, why do I do what I do on both sides of my business? The one word I always choose is impact. That is my goal, to seek impact no matter what I'm doing personally or professionally. And what I mean by impact is that, whomever my path I'm blessed across, I need their life to be better in some way because of that intersection. So even if it's simply a smile as I'm passing someone, a wave, an in-depth conversation, they've attended one of my workshops or seminars, no matter what the intersection, I need their life to be better in some way. And so that's impact for me.
Oh, I love it. And Pamala with 3 A's. How did we meet? Would you tell the people how we met?
Well, this wonderful individual, and you guys, his name is Corey Northington. And when I tell you what a blessing, what a beautiful spirit, the grand connector, he is just all that in a bag of chips, just this wonderful human being who just gives freely, right? And so I would be remiss if I didn't give him the biggest shout out and the biggest air hug, right, for making this connection. Tisha and I, he made the connection, and right off the bat, immediately, we were like kindred spirits, in terms of our philosophies on how we run our business, how we run our lives, or whatever. It was an immediate connection. But I guess Corey kind of saw that, felt that, and that's why he made the connection. So again, thank you again, Corey. Cannot thank you enough.
My goodness, Corey is joining us out there in the Global Pep Squad, and we're so appreciative of you,
Yes.
Corey. His name is probably mentioned more than many others in the Global Pep Squad because he has encouraged so many people to connect with this platform and be a part of this show and this network. And Corey, truly, virtual hugs and much more for the way that you are out here connecting people with great people and great resources. God bless you and be encouraged. Pamela McCoy, I want to introduce you, if you had not already met Mary Wells here in the comments. She is the captain of the Global Pep Squad, and
All
she
right.
is hailing
Whoop,
from
whoop.
Cleveland in the 216 area code, and she is the founder creator at One Word Encourage LLC. Mary Wells, I see you, Queen, and so thankful that you are joining us here live. She says to everyone, happy International Women's Day.
Yes, to all my fellow queens out there. This is our day. Let's celebrate one another.
Yes, and it's a reminder to be grateful, for me to be grateful, at least for the women in my life, to remember fondly the women that I've looked up to remember those who showed me tough love and those who let me get away with stuff. It's just a nice day to be a woman. And I did a post this morning that was talking about break the bias. And, so we still have some biases against us in this world. Today, we celebrate women in business, and we do that every day here on this platform. And that's what we're going to talk about a bit more with you, Pamela. So try not to be distracted by all the comments that I'm going to move across the screen, because I want to give everyone in the Global Pep Squad a chance to be seen and heard, because that's what we do at Ascent Media Production Network. Okay. So while I'm flashing all of that good stuff around, walk us through either a high point or a low valley in your entrepreneurship journey, and then lead us into your brand story. What is it?
Okay, well, I'll start low so we can end on a high. Hey. So a low point, I think, was kind of early on my entrepreneurial journey. There were people, and this particular person happened to be a female, that I'd known for many years. And so thought not only, friendship, colleague, that kind of thing, but it was, I thought, right? So beyond that. And she was further along in her entrepreneurial journey. And so I thought, surely, help, guidance, something, right? And we're in two different industries, so it's not like a competition thing even. But I just kind of, if you just open the door, just crack the door a little bit, I could, use that leverage or what have you. And when that didn't happen, because I didn't ask, because I felt like I shouldn't have to ask, right? That it would be just this automatic thing because I am this giving person. And I firmly believe there's enough out here for everybody. And if I can shave off some of your learning time by sharing an experience, then of course, I refer to boomerang blessings. And boomerang blessings is not a tit for tat. It's not monetary necessarily. It just means when you're living in that realm, right, your blessing's going to come back and helping others. So when that didn't happen, I was really kind of devastated. I was like heartbroken and just felt a certain kind of way too at the same time. Like, really? Like, oh my gosh, like of all people, like I thought for sure, like, at a minimum, like when you're having this conference, you got this following, I'm just starting out, that just like, oh, this is, my friend, whomever, 5 minutes on the stage, introduce me. I don't have to take up all your time. But the fact that you took the time to introduce me to your squad, right? it is that support, that encouragement, that endorsement to your audience in what I'm doing. So no skin off your back. And I just thought, wow, yeah. Well, when it didn't happen, I was devastated. But so that was a reality check for me, right? That what is that old saying? Everybody who is in your circle is not in your corner.
Ooh, come on now.
I learned that the hard way, but it was a lesson I needed to learn. And I was grateful that I learned it early on. So no longer did I have that expectation. I just accept people at face value, whatever it is they're, if they want to share or give, that's cool. If not, no skin off my back, because the reality is I'm walking in my purpose. Yeah. And so when I thought back of that situation, what I thought was that was all Pam thinking that this is how it should happen. Like this person would crack this window for me. That obviously wasn't his master plan, because how about life went on? And I was successful in spite of that not happening. So I'd get out of my own feeling that carnal stuff, right?
Yeah, that's classic.
Leave it where it belongs, which is continue to walk in your purpose. The rest of the stuff will work itself out, because he'll see to it, right? Because he's #JSC. God is so crazy cool, right? So he's got this on lock. So I don't have to worry about that. What I need to focus on is what I need to focus on. Keep the main thing the main thing. Right. Another kind of low or epiphany period was typically when I do my workshops or seminars, the entity hires me to come in to do it. Right. So I don't have to worry about butts in the seat, because they're going to pay my fees and I'm going to present to their constituents, so their staff, their congregation, their employees, whomever. Right. But I just thought, a friend of mine kind of challenged me. So like, why wouldn't you talk about multiple revenue streams. So why wouldn't you just create a workshop and have people pay to come? And I thought, yeah, because it's like, if you're waiting on the perfect time, you'll never do it, because there'll never be a perfect time. Right. So just put your flag in the sand and say, this is the date, I'm going to do it, and do it. Right. So I'd accept the challenge. Right. And so I did my very first workshop seminar that I'm going to market. People are going to pay to come. And of course I have these grandeur visions. Again, it's all Pam, just to be transparent. It's going to be standing room only. Everybody's going to want to come. If you build it, they will come, that whole mentality kind of thing. So started marketing and all of that. And, I'm about 2.5, 3 weeks out from my event, checking Eventbrite like every day, several times during the day to see how many people have registered and all of that. And it wasn't moving like Pam. And I thought, oh my gosh, so now I'm so stressed and so worried. Like, oh my gosh, I'm going to build it and nobody's going to come. Well, not literally no one, but not the numbers that I was expecting. Right. I was so stressed and so worried about that. And I do my morning devotionals and meditation every single morning. So about 2.5 weeks out from my very first F5, Fueling Financial Fire for Females. Right.
Okay.
And one of my devotionals was about obedience. And you can go back on my page, because I posted, because when I tell you it was so profound, I immediately had to post it and share with the world, right? And it was really about being obedient. And in that moment, it hit me like a ton of bricks. What was your assignment? My assignment was to do this workshop specifically for females, because I had guys even approach me, well, why is it just females? Because I need this information, because that was my assignment to do females. Now, F5 is a 3-parter. So I do Fueling Financial Fire for Females, Fueling Financial Fire for Families, as well as Fueling Financial Fire for Fellas. But this was females, right? That was my assignment. And in reading and meditating on that, what it said to me, what it spoke to me was, focus on the assignment that I gave you. Nowhere in the assignment did it say how many people are supposed to be there, how many people are supposed to read. He said, do this workshop for females. And when I received that, I kid you not, instantaneously, it was like a ton of bricks was lifted off my shoulder. Those last weeks leading up to my workshop, I didn't check Eventbrite because I didn't care, because I was so focused on the number causing that stress. The day of the workshop, when I tell you, I printed out the attendee list, and it wasn't standing room only, but it was the right number. When I tell you, I showed up, they could not have been more perfect.
Yeah.
I cried when it was over, because it was so perfect. It was absolutely perfect. The right people were in the room. The right number of females were in the room. We had the best time. We laughed, we cried, we talked about money, we talked about relationship. We did it all.
Yes.
And then I think about it, if it had been what I was thinking it should have been, all these women, standing room on, it would not have been that. Why? Because the larger the crowd, the less people want to share about their intimate feeling situation, right?
Okay.
But because it was so intimate, right? We had like 15 female. Some of them, a couple of them knew each other, the rest did not. So for introductions, networking opportunity, collaborative opportunities, all of that came out of this very first workshop. And so my walk away lesson was stay focused on the main thing. What is the assignment? He's going to do the rest. And so from now, when I don't ever focus on the number, because the number, whatever the right number is and whoever the right people are, will be in the room, whatever that number turns out to be. So to an entrepreneur out there, just learn from my lessons, very transparent. It just is who I am, right?
Sure.
Just focus on your assignment, your mission, the rest of the stuff. I don't even focus on money. Why? Because my philosophy, if I continue to walk in my purpose, the money will come. Why? Because he'll see to it that it will, because it's my assignment, right? And he's not let me down ever, right? So, and so then the high, I guess, would be the birth of B5 Reaffirm. Not the Bonafide wasn't good and isn't good. I launched that back in 2008, so it's been around for a while. But I launched B5 Reaffirm amidst the pandemic of all things. And it all started with, I had a contract with a nonprofit. And though both my companies are for-profit, my largest client base is actually nonprofits, because all that I do is I refer to as heart work, right? And so they're naturally drawn to the connection. And I had a contract with a nonprofit to work with some at-risk girls. And they wanted me to work with these young ladies on leadership, right? And self-esteem. And I thought, wow, okay. Always on Bonafide, I always tied in self-esteem, because as a man thinketh, that's in the word, right? So how you're thinking and feeling about things, even your money, impacts how you respond as relates to your money. So I've always incorporated that, but to have it singled out as the sole purpose, right? That was my assignment. So I'm deciding I need a way to reach these girls so that I can reach these girls, if that makes sense, right? Because they're really got these walls built up, because life has dealt them a really kind of shaky deck, right? And as I'm in the aisle of a Dollar Tree of all places, and I won't go through the whole story, but I was drawn to these rigid boxes, and then it all just kind of unfolded. So stay tuned. My book number 4, we'll be talking about this journey, this B5 birth. But I put together this program as he was downloading it to me, right? And I worked with these girls, and impact was beyond what I even imagined. And even that, I wasn't thinking about a business or anything. It was just working with this group of girls. So fast forward, these girls are in this program. I didn't know what brought them to the program, right? What their story was. But all of them have a story because they're in this program, right? And so this particular organization, I financially supported them for many years because I believe in their mission. So that holiday season, as nonprofits do, I received my donation request letter where they spotlight one of their clients and tell their backstory, what brought them to the agency, blah, 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 how the agency is helping them. So imagine my surprise when I look at my letter, it was one of my girls. I read her story. I was devastated. I had no idea her backstory. And so when I got myself together, I went to pull her feedback sheet, because I had the girls subsequently do feedback on what they thought about the program and the boxes and all of that. And this young lady had said 2 things. One of the questions I asked, what do you like best about the box? And she wrote that she could depend on her box. And that was huge, because being able to depend on something is something that they didn't really have, right, in their life at large. And another comment that she made is when she's having a bad day is when she goes to her box with an exclamation point. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's powerful. But I still wasn't thinking of business or anything. I'm still just, this group of girls. So a couple of weeks go by and I'm back at the agency, and I run into one of the caseworkers there, the counselors, and just talking in general, she mentions this particular girl. And she says that this girl was at the brink of the ultimate negative act, suicide, but the box. So when she was writing those comments, it was a whole different context. When she said she could depend on it and she went to it, that was the situation that she was talking about. And I thought, my God, right? And the icing on the cake, this young lady, her name isn't Kim or Pam or Tammy. How about her name is Serenity? And her life had been anything but peace until the box. And it was in that moment that I got the official assignment that made it crystal clear that this assignment is so much bigger than me. It's so much bigger than this one group of girls that I worked with. And that's when B5 Reaffirm was actually birthed out of this assignment, right? And the testimonials since I have launched have been many positive things, but so many. I even had a few more where the program has literally saved the lives of some females. And that blows my mind that little old me, because I accepted an assignment, someone is still here on this earth breathing because of accepting an assignment. And when I tell you, he's just blessed me, because I just launched formally June of 2020. And since that time, I've already served over 500 females. And when you talk about self-esteem, it's truly ageless. So these females that I've served have been from teenagers, 13, right on up to what I call my sassy seniors in their 70s, and everything in between, because self-esteem is really ageless, right?
It is.
But amazing. So that is one of my high points of, impact.
All right, Pam, can you believe that we're almost 30 minutes gone? So we don't have much time left. So let me ask you some questions here, okay?
Okay.
How did you utilize marketing and media to get visibility on your brand? I hear you loud and clear when you say it wasn't about the money for you. It wasn't about how many people were in the seats. You are a business owner. And so it's important that people know how to get to you. How did you use marketing and media to pull that off?
Well, social media for sure. And it's not my strong suit. So I was doing a little bit, but now I have a young lady in North Carolina who does my social media stuff for me. And I've been blessed really, even with the bona fide side, when over the years, I have a television presence here. So I get an opportunity to do segments on the news here. I've done ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox. God is just opening these doors, right? And so podcasts such as this one with Miss Tisha, any opportunity to get exposure to talk about what I do. And even in the community, doing, different organizations and entities, getting on their agendas to talk about what you do. I like to call that boots on the street, feet on the street, someone else talking about what you do to help get the word out. But then there's some cost too. Sometimes you got to pay to play, right?
Absolutely.
And so maybe it's, going to a conference or whatever, but any opportunity to talk about what you do.
Awesome. We thank you. It is about 30 after the hour now. The Global Pep Squad is sending in their comments that they love your story. Mary Wells says that you've inspired her to start a workshop soon. So tell us the best ways that people can contact you after the show.
Well, the best way is via my website, which is PamalaMcCoy.com. But we have to stress, I'm the 3 A's, Pamala with 3 A's. So it's PAMALA, McCoy, MCCOY.com. And once you get on the landing page, you can go either to the bona fide side or the B5 Reaffirm side, whichever you're needing at the time. But I'm hoping each one of you on this Global Pep Squad will reach out. We can put together a workshop seminar near you, right? Or just if I can help you in any way, honestly, Well,
we thank you for being today's guest star on Pep Talk Live with Tisha Hammond, the small business cheerleader. You're welcome to join the green room or to jump off. Either way, know that you have my sincerest thanks for being a blessing and sharing your assignment with this audience.
Thank you again for having me. And I'm going to stay on because I need that little, that little tidbit lesson that you've got going on.
That's right. That micro lesson is coming up. Well, stay tuned for it. I thank you, Pamela. Thank you so much. Global Pep Squad. Wasn't that incredible? Now, Pamela also can be found in Mary Wells. I know that you're definitely going to connect to her. I love that you will. You can also find Pamela McCoy across Facebook, across Instagram, across Twitter, and you can find her calendar link from her site. So please go to the site, PamelaMcCoy.com, and get all of those other great ways to stay connected to her. And then share this conversation that you've heard her speak in. To Pamela McCoy, our captain of the Global Pep Squad, thanks you for being today's guest star on the show as well. And now we're going to head on into our micro lesson. So we are each week, our goal is to share a quick tidbit of information that is going to help you as entrepreneurs, freelancers, creators, storytellers, people making transition from full-time employment to full-time self-employment and small business ownership. Just make your day a little easier, help you become more organized when it comes to information. And you've heard me say this plenty of times. If you have content, you have got to store it somewhere. We call it a content bank. Some people call it an asset bank. Some people call it their library or their vault. Whatever the thing is, if you have content, you want it stored somewhere and kept somewhere safely. And when it comes time to grow your business, believe me, you have to have a team of people to do that, even if it's just one other person to start with. So then you want to work in a space that's collaborative, right? So let's see if I can share this micro lesson successfully with you. It has been such a blessing to me. And it is all about how to share notes that you keep in Google Keep. Y'all know that I am a Google workspace fanatic. I use a Google product faster than I'll use a non-Google product because it's just intuitive. And machines come to know you as you use them more. And Google just has mastered machine technology, if you ask me. So Google Keep is where you can stage notes and such like that. You probably already know that Facebook owns WhatsApp. And when you use them together, let's see what can happen for you. Y'all gotta let me know if you can see the video in the comments, okay?
This micro lesson teaches you how to share Google Keep notes to WhatsApp. And it references Prime Directive number 2, which is communicate with clarity and precision to ensure maximum comprehension and follow through by the client. We have a 2-step communication protocol where we take information from Google Keep, which is our central staging area for all information coming into your digital world. And then we share that information out. So it essentially replaces email. And we share it out through WhatsApp. But WhatsApp is the secondary communication tool. We always start the messages in Google Keep, whether it's a text message or a picture or a link, URL, any of those things, they should start as a Google Keep note. And the Google Keep app in Chrome, the light bulb app, is a one-click app. One click saves anything you want. So it's very, very easy to save things to Google Keep. I save things all the time that I may look at later and I just archive them. So it's our general archive location. So we want to send things from Google Keep and we want to do it as efficiently as possible. So that's why we start with Keep. We don't type anything in WhatsApp. So first you search for the note that you want, and when you find it, and this is it here. Clipboard history is what we're sending. And then you open the note. Once you've opened the note, you can then, assuming the note doesn't need any changes, you go to the menu down here on the right. And you click Send Note. It has the usual wishbone share feature, so we know what that is. And then send via other apps. And then WhatsApp. Now, if the person's name comes up specifically, you can, of course, go to that name directly. But I typically do it this way if I'm doing multiple sends. In this case, I'm just sending it to one person, Paul, and then I send. Now it's ready to go. And I press send. I may want to put something after it, but I shouldn't, because all the information you have should be within the note. This is the header that tells them what to look for. This is the link that they're going to click on. This is perhaps the text tells what you want them to do. Everything in here should tell them exactly where to go. But you should not access the note from here, ever, because this is a static note and it can't be changed. Whereas the keep note can still be changed. And in fact, I quite often do change it. So we counsel clients to not, this is a reference. WhatsApp, think of it as read only. It's a reference. We do not want you to click on things in WhatsApp. We want you to look at it as a reference, then go find it and keep. And since it was just shared to you minutes ago, it's almost certainly going to be in the upper left-hand corner of keep, because that's where all messages are. And so if I go back to my main keep message, your message will be right here where this prime directive is, because all messages come up in that spot. That is critically important, because again, you've only got one place to look. So after you get the WhatsApp message telling you what to look for, you go look for it here and you'll find it in that spot. Given that two-step process, it's almost impossible for someone to not understand what you want them to do and follow through with it. And that's why this prime directive is so important. Communication is one of the places people fall down a lot, and this process solves that.
Wow! I love good information. And I love micro lessons. And I want to thank Digital Samurai Studios for sharing those with you through this platform. So if you're not already familiar with Google Keep, if you're not already familiar with how to use WhatsApp as a collaborative workspace for your growing team, whether it's you have an intern on board with you, or you have a virtual assistant out of the country, if it's you have a part-time employee or an independent contractor, you want to know how to work closely with them when you're not physically with them, then please contact me. I'd love to share information about how we do that here at AMP Network. So you guys are going to hear some new words and terms from me, because I have some great news. First, I want to say a quote that I put up on the screen earlier. It says, "Great people do things before they're ready." All right. So I want you to keep in mind that this is a day that we celebrate the greatness of women around the world. And there are someone out there who just don't see the greatness in them. Well, I come to tell you, do the thing. The greatness is already there. It's already there in you. And so I just want to come to eliminate any fear that you have around sharing your brand story. Truly, it's like a testimony. It can really help someone else overcome. So keep that in mind. That's not my original quote. That's from Amy Poehler, who is an actress and comedian. Now, the good news that I have is that launching a new website. So the Global Pep Squad knows me as a small business cheerleader. Certainly I am that. Our company is a media influencer and media production company. And in addition to tishahammond.com, where you'll still find great information, you're going to find more of our media production and news stories at ascentmediapro.net. Do not go to .com, because that's not me. One day I will buy that site, but someone has it at the moment. And if you know them, let's ask them if they're willing to sell it. AscentMediaPro.net is where you're going to find the new home for Ascent Media Production Network. See what we did there? That is going to officially launch on March 26th of 2022 in Women's History Month. See what we did there? And you can visit now and opt into our newsletter, get some advanced information about the launch and media, and how you can make media one of your team members. That way you have already someone on hand helping media grow your brand for you while you sleep. So we love talking about earned media, owned media, paid media, shared media, and we want to be your go-to resource for that kind of information. Mary Wells, thank you for the congratulations. Certainly we are a team, and I'm so happy to see the growth in both of our businesses. So that's what we have for today. We will be back next week and the week after that, prayerfully. And we have Pamela McCoy giving us a whoop, whoop, whoop. And we appreciate you as well. Thank you for being today's guest star on Pep Talk Live with Tisha Hammond. We were celebrating Pamela McCoy today. So be sure to visit her site as well. Y'all, God bless. Be encouraged. We're going to try this again real soon.